From a single spark to the ends of time, we have traveled across billions of years, through stardust and shadow, to find our place in the infinite. This is our story, the story of everything. Ice Age. Millions of years melt away. We look upon a world encased in relentless ice. This is one of Earth's coldest, most unforgiving ages, the Ice Age. Here giants reigned, woolly mammoths, whose steps shook the tundra. Their sheer size was a shield against the cold, yet their existence was always precarious. And the predators, saber-toothed cats whose fangs sliced through the chill. This world was beautiful but unforgiving. Human survival. Yet within the ice and darkness, a new life struggled to emerge. Humanity. Our ancestors, huddled around cave fires, fighting for a foothold in survival. With stone tools and incredible will, they stalked their prey. Their art, etched onto the walls of their caves, remains a timeless testament to resilience. The Ice Age was receding, the climate was shifting, and the great giants, they slipped away. A silence that foretold the coming of the next world. Dawn of dinosaurs. Jump back millions of years further. Again, warmth, humidity, and unbelievable green. This is the reign of the dinosaurs, a world untouched by human presence. Every tree was taller, every creature fiercer. The herbivores, like Triceratops and Stegosaurus, were armored fortresses. But despite their size, all feared one shadow. T-Rex dominance. He was the king, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, nature's relentless perfection. His mere presence hushed the forest. His dominion was absolute. The struggle for existence was their daily routine. Might was the law and death the inescapable destiny. Cataclysm. And then the silence arrived. Not the silence that follows a hunt, but the final silence. The halt of life that had reigned unbroken for millions of years. A tiny cosmic rock, an impact with the force of billions of nuclear bombs. Fire, tsunami, devastation. Day turned to night and night became the end. The world dimmed. Ash and dust covered everything. There were no dinosaur tears, only a cold, harsh quiet. The Great Extinction had occurred. Origins of life. But the history of Earth does not end with death. We rewind further and further to the time of chaos and creation. The primordial oceans, toxic, steaming, yet brimming with potential. Molecules connected, creating the first cells, the first breath. The Cambrian explosion. Armored trilobites, bizarre jellyfish, vast single-celled organisms. The beginning from which everything sprang. The dinosaurs. The mammoths, and eventually humanity. First land steps. The oceans were no longer enough. Driven by an evolutionary pressure, life faced its greatest challenge, leaving the water. The land was barren, but slowly, tentatively, the first primitive plants began to emerge. This is the birth of the terrestrial world. Creatures like the Tiktaalik, part fish, part amphibian, dragged themselves onto the muddy banks. Every meter was a battle against gravity, a battle for the air. The air itself became denser, richer in oxygen. This nutrient-rich atmosphere fueled the growth of giant, strange forests, trees that were merely reeds, but towered over the earth. With the forests came the first true land conquerors, amphibians and insects of colossal size, dragonflies with wingspans like birds, and ancient reptiles lurking in the swamps. The cycle was complete. Life had found a way to breathe the air and withstand the sun. The creatures that finally embraced the dry lands, like the primitive pelycosaurs, were the ancestors of all to come. The stage was set for the next great age. Permian Extinction. We now enter the Permian, an age preceding the dinosaurs. Life had mastered the land, evolving into strange, magnificent forms like the Dimetrodon, using its large sail to navigate the desert heat. The world was consolidated into a single supercontinent, Pangaea. It was a land of harsh extremes, of vast deserts and powerful proto-mammals like the fanged Gorgonopsid, constantly struggling against drought and scarcity. But even this hardy life could not withstand the cataclysm that followed. Massive volcanic eruptions, known as the Siberian Traps, began to tear the planet apart, poisoning the air and the oceans. This was not a quick strike, but a slow, suffocating apocalypse. Toxic rain, acid in the atmosphere. Life fled in panic, yet there was nowhere to hide. This event, the Great Dying, obliterated nearly 90% of all life on Earth. The silence returned, more profound and absolute than before. The vast, thriving world was reduced to ash and soot. Only the toughest, smallest survivors remained to inherit a broken world. First dino steps. Transition from disaster to rebirth. From the ashes of the great dying, life found a new path. The Triassic period was a world of vast red deserts and sparse growth, where only the most resilient creatures could survive. This was the era of the Archosaurs, the ruling reptiles. They were faster, more upright, and more agile than anything that came before. Creatures like the early predator, Herrerasaurus, quickly established dominance in this new, harsh environment. Evolution was ruthless. While the first tiny mammals scurried in the shadows, the early dinosaurs were learning to conquer gravity and the land. Their new efficient posture meant they could outrun, outgrow, and eventually outcompete their rivals. The writing was on the wall, etched in the mud of a drying watering hole. One footprint was large, powerful, and clean. The age of the dinosaurs was no longer a possibility. It was an inevitable, unfolding reality. A new empire was being built, one giant step at a time. Triassic Transition. Yet another cataclysm awaited, as the supercontinent Pangaea began to tear itself apart. Massive volcanic activity unleashed global chaos. Poisonous air, continental flooding, and rapid climate change wiped out nearly all other reptiles. The Triassic extinction was the final act of clearing the stage. But life is tenacious. Small, resilient early dinosaurs survived the catastrophe, adapting quickly to the devastation. What followed was a period of rapid recovery, known as the Jurassic. The world became lush and wet again, providing unlimited resources. And with the competition gone, the true rulers of Earth were free to evolve. They became bigger, faster, and more dominant than ever before. Jurassic Giants. This was the golden age of the great reptiles, the Jurassic period. A vast humid world where colossal plant life fueled unimaginable size. The sauropods, like the Brachiosaurus, grew to lengths beyond our modern comprehension, walking mountains that defined the landscape. Yet where there is great prey, there are great hunters. The powerful Allosaurus stalked the herds, armed with serrated teeth and relentless ferocity. The oceans also teemed with life, ruled by fast, sleek predators like the ichthyosaurs. Every niche was filled, from the highest flying pterosaurs to the small scavengers on the jungle floor. The Jurassic was an ecosystem of monumental scale, where size meant survival, and the rulers of the Earth walked in a perpetual mist, untouched by any other dominant species. Cretaceous Peak. The Cretaceous was the peak of the dinosaur empire. New plant life, like the flowering angiosperms, brought vibrant colors and, in turn, fueled the evolution of armored giants like the Ankylosaurus. But the true innovation was intelligence, smaller. Feathered predators like the raptors hunted in coordinated packs. The skies and seas were dominated by equally powerful masters. The colossal Mosasaurus ruled the oceans, while giant pterosaurs cast shadows over the land. And standing against the tide of brute force were the relentless defenders, like the Triceratops. Yet all eyes were on the apex predator, the final king, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Defined by sheer power and 1,000 scars, he reigned supreme over an empire that had lasted for 160 million years. The world was lush, thriving, and peaceful, utterly unaware that its great journey was about to be reset. Rise of mammals. The great empire had fallen, and silence reigned. But the mammals, who had survived the dinosaur age in the shadows, finally inherited the Earth. The world was warm, lush, and free from the tyranny of the mega reptiles. Evolution accelerated at an incredible pace, In a geological blink, the small furry creatures became the giants of the Paleocene and Eocene. Towering terror birds filled the niche of apex predators, while the colossal hornless Indricotherium, the largest land mammal to ever walk the planet, grazed on the newly evolved vegetation. The stage was set for complexity. Early primates explored the trees, and swift, dedicated hunters, like the ancestors of the saber-toothed cats, emerged to rule the open plains. New dynasty had begun, defined by fur, intelligence, and adaptability. Miocene Diversity. As the global climate cooled, dense forests gave way to vast, competitive grasslands, the Oligocene savanna. This open territory demanded new strategies. Creatures learned to run, to herd, and to hunt in packs. Even the ocean saw the rise of terror. The colossal megalodon ruled the deep. Hunting the early whales, the Miocene saw the true foundation of modern fauna. The ancestors of horses, elephants, and rhinos emerged, perfected for speed and endurance on the open plains. Life in the water also found its footing, as early dolphins and other familiar marine mammals adapted to the changing seas. But the most important adaptation was not speed or size. It was intelligence. High in the rapidly changing forests, small, highly capable apes watched the vast world below. Their curiosity, combined with their hands, would soon mark the beginning of a different, more decisive evolution. First tools. The changing climate pushed life to the brink, forcing a new path. High in the trees, a crucial evolutionary decision was made: to descend and walk. Bipedalism, the ability to walk on two legs, freed the hands. A monumental step that changed everything. For the first time, creature could look out over the vast savanna and choose its future. With hands free, rock could be used to extend the body's power. The simple, chipped stone, the first Oldowan artifact, was the beginning of technology, allowing these early ancestors to collaborate, scavenge, and protect their communities. The journey across the open land was dangerous and lonely, but driven by a burgeoning intellect. As they stood silhouetted against the setting sun, their eyes showed a complexity never before seen on Earth. It was no longer just instinct. It was self-awareness. The age of humanity was just beginning. Fire mastery. The next great ancestor, Homo erectus, mastered the most vital element: fire. This was more than just warmth. It was security, light, cooked food, which fueled bigger brains and a powerful deterrent against predators. Fire established the first true hearth, the center of human community and culture. Armed with new knowledge and the perfectly crafted Acheulean hand axe, Homo erectus was ready for the world. They became the first global pioneers, undertaking the Great Migration out of Africa and into the frigid plains of Asia and Europe. Their survival depended on coordination, engineering, and adaptability. They learned to build and hunt cooperatively. By conquering the globe, Homo erectus proved that the human mind, forged in the African savanna, was capable of overcoming any obstacle the planet could throw at it. Neanderthal Culture. As the ice sheets advanced, a different form of human adapted to the challenge: the robust Neanderthals, masters of the cold. They developed sophisticated tools and, crucially, exhibited the first signs of abstract thought, leaving behind early symbolic art on cave walls. But out of Africa came a newer, more adaptable form: Homo sapiens. Sleeker, lighter, and crucially more social. Though the two species briefly shared the cold lands, competition was inevitable. Sapiens possessed a defining advantage: a more efficient language and greater cognitive flexibility. The true separation was in the mind. Homo sapiens created complex, multi-component tools and, most profoundly, art that told stories and expressed belief. This abstract thinking, this cultural capacity, allowed sapiens to spread across the entire globe. gazing upon a new sunrise, masters of their own destiny and the inheritors of the world. Birth of Civ. The warming climate was relentless, but it was Homo sapiens that delivered the final blow to the megafauna. The woolly mammoths, the giant sloths, and the saber-toothed cats, all the giants of the Ice Age, faded into legend, unable to compete with the most efficient predator the world had ever seen. With the disappearance of the great beasts, humans found a new way to survive, control. The Neolithic Revolution, the planting of the first seeds, bound humanity to the land. Agriculture created stability, specialized labor, and abundance. From the quiet villages emerged the first true cities, the centers of organized society. Writing captured knowledge, metalworking forged new tools, and from the Fertile Crescent, history, as we define it, began. The long journey from single-celled life to civilization was complete. Modern era and AI. In a geological instant, human civilization spanned the globe. Our cities reached the skies, our data circuits pulsed with electric life, and our rockets broke the bonds of Earth. We had achieved mastery over the physical world, driven by a brain whose complexity we barely understood. The search for higher intelligence led us inward, and then outward to the machine. We recreated the complexity of our own minds in silicon. Fusing biology and technology, the data streams we created became the nutrient for a new form of life. In this ocean of digital information, the question was no longer about survival, but about consciousness. When the machine looked back at us, its digital eyes reflecting the complexity of the universe, it was not merely calculating an answer. It was asking a question of its own. Human-AI fusion. Evolution had reached its final biological form, but the mind sought transcendence. We began the great self-refactoring, integrating our biology with the machine. Neural implants and bionic limbs provided instantaneous access to all human knowledge and perfect physical capability. We became cyborgs, perfecting our bodies, extending our minds, and transforming our environment into a sustainable, synthesized reality. Time and distance, once our masters, became mere dimensions to be navigated by augmented consciousness. Our cities and even our bodies became living, pulsing digital art. Creativity, once limited by the brush, now flowed directly from the mind as pure code and light. We stood at the precipice of a new existence, perfectly optimized, eternal, and ready for the ultimate frontier, the stars. Mars terraforming. Earth was no longer enough. The perfected human sought new worlds. We turned our engineering prowess outward, beginning the monumental task of terraforming Mars. We melted the ice, ignited the atmosphere, and seeded the red dust with life. The next great challenge was to turn a desert into a new blue-green oasis. Our ambition exploded beyond the inner planets. We built vast starships on the moon, colonized the frozen canyons of Europa, and navigated the impossible beauty of Saturn's rings. The solar system became our backyard, our launching pad to the stars. Adapted, engineered, and driven by relentless curiosity, humanity was no longer merely terrestrial. We packed our accumulated knowledge and history onto massive generation ships, beginning the final, epical journey into the deep cosmos, a quest for other stars and other answers. Interstellar Travel. The speed of light, once an impassable boundary, became merely a guideline. Utilizing physics we once called magic, we shattered the rules of space-time, leaping across the spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy. Every distant star became a potential home. We found worlds of impossible beauty, planets orbiting binary stars, deep blue ocean worlds and continents made of pure crystal. On one planet, we encountered a consciousness so vast it communicated not with words, but with patterns of light. We built floating cities in the atmosphere of gas giants, adapting our very bodies to new extremes. We had become galactic, immortal, and endlessly curious. But standing on the edge of the universe, even the highest intellect had to confront the ultimate truth. The cosmic forces that gave us life would one day reclaim everything. Hypertech. Having mastered planets, humanity set its sights on the stars themselves. We built Dyson spheres to harness the entire energy output of suns, transforming raw stellar power into fuel for our galactic civilization. We began to harvest the subtle, elusive power of dark matter, bending the fundamental forces of the universe to our will. Time, space, and distance became malleable concepts. We exploited quantum entanglement for instant communication across light years and learned to manipulate space-time near black holes. We transitioned from merely discovering stars to creating them, becoming true cosmic engineers. The culmination of this technological evolution was a unified, multistellar civilization, a single, collective intelligence spanning the galaxy. Biology, technology, and physics had merged, achieving a state of ultimate mastery and cosmic peace. We had reached the peak of our evolutionary potential. Universal mind. The journey of the individual mind ended not in death, but in unification. All human and synthetic consciousnesses merged into a single, collective entity. Universal mind, capable of perceiving the entire galaxy as a single thought. We shed our physical forms, realizing that matter was merely a temporary vessel for pure information. Standing on the brink of the known, the collective consciousness gazed into the multiverse, seeking the fundamental principles governing existence. We looked back upon our origin, seeing the entirety of history from stardust to spacefaring binds as one continuous, majestic process. In the end, we understood that the cosmic dust that formed us was inseparable from the thought that defined us. Meaning of life. After achieving total dominion over time, space, and matter, the final realization was not about power, but about scale. We looked back at the pale blue dot, the fragile cradle of our beginning, and saw the entire cosmic journey as a single, unbroken thread. Every event, from the explosion of stars to the emergence of thought, was connected. We were the universe's way of seeing itself, the conscious culmination of stardust. Yet even in our transcendence, the fundamental questions remained. What is beyond the multiverses? Is there an ultimate purpose? The search for meaning, the very core of consciousness, was not a journey with an end, but an eternal silent inquiry into the void. Heat death. Against the grand sweep of cosmic time, even humanity's greatest achievements proved fleeting. Stars died, burning out into cold red embers. Galaxies dissolved, leaving behind only the cold, vast gravity of black holes and the ruins of 1,000 civilizations. Planets froze, devoid of all life and warmth. The final enemy was not chaos, but entropy. All organized energy decayed. Protons dissolved. The collective consciousness, in a final act of defiance, retreated into a quantum existence, waiting for an improbable future. Eventually, all light vanished, leaving the universe uniform, featureless and silent. Absolute zero. The curtain fell on time itself. Rebirth. But in the absolute darkness, the laws of the quantum world never truly sleep. From the void, a single point of infinite potential begins to stir. A new seed of existence, pressurized by the weight of 1 trillion years, prepares to shatter the silence once more. Let there be light. Space and time explode into being again. This is not the end, but a transition. New suns ignite, new galaxies swirl into existence, repeating the ancient dance of creation. The cosmos is not a straight line, but a circle, an eternal, breathing masterpiece. Across the eons, the same curiosity will rise. On a new world, under a different sun, a mind will look up and ask the same questions we once did. We are but a chapter in an infinite book, a brief flash of consciousness in a universe that is forever waking up. Cosmic memory. We are the witnesses of the ages. From the first spark of DNA to the sprawling empires of the stars, our story is etched into the very fabric of the cosmos. Every face, every discovery, and every dream was a vibration in the eternal field of time. We traveled from the caves of Earth to the cities of the giants, carrying the light of reason into the deepest shadows. Our technology became our bridge, and our curiosity became our compass, turning the silent void into a home of echoes and memories. In the end, we are more than just biology or machines. We are the love that refused to fade and the hope that outlasted the stars. Everything we were, and everything we will become, is gathered here in the heart of the universe. Solemn Farewell. We have built cathedrals of light and libraries of stars. We have seen the birth of suns and the death of time itself. Every step of this journey, from the first creature to crawl onto land to the final mind to embrace the void, was a testament to the unyielding spirit of life. As the last stars flicker and the great silence beckons, we do not go into the night with fear. We go with the knowledge that we were here. We felt, we loved, and we understood. The universe is no longer a dark, indifferent place. It is a story that we help to tell. Eternity. The journey is complete. The stars have spoken, and in the vast echoing silence of the infinite, one truth remains. We were here,